Hey everyone, today I'm going to review this electric bicycle, the Apollo Smart 1S Plus. The official retailer for this bicycle here in Singapore seems to be TWD Bicycle. The official retail price is 3,399 Singapore dollars, so this is quite expensive. I actually bought this second hand because this is just way too expensive at $3,000 over. By the way, if you are watching this video and you are interested to get a bike that looks very similar to this, recently I found out that there is another brand called Veebike which looks exactly the same as this, except it's way cheaper. So I'll put the link to where you can find the other bike in the video description below. Okay, so let me just tell you what are some of the modifications or accessories that are made to this bike or added to this bike. Now this bike does not come with the horn. This is an add-on. It does not come with the headlights. That's an add-on. And this pouch here is an add-on. And the rear lights, the blinker lights and the brake lights, those are add-on. This switch here is an add-on. This is for the horn, the power, the blinker lights. This is not included with the bicycle. The meter is included with the bicycle. I cannot remember the specifications for this bicycle, so I'll just put it on the screen for you guys to see. I am not very knowledgeable about bicycles, so the way I describe bicycles will be quite generic. So the wheels are 20-inch wheels, and this is a good size to keep the bicycle compact. So the overall size of this bicycle is actually significantly smaller compared to mountain bikes. It uses a disc brake. The overall build quality of the bicycle seems to be quite solid. Now this design of the frame is actually very common. I have another foldable bicycle that looks almost like this with the same frame. So this is a very, I would say, common design, except this time it's fitted with an internal battery inside the frame. That's why this frame here it's much larger. Let's take a look at the handlebar. The grip is good, except it's made with rubber. So in Singapore, rubber and humidity, they don't mix well, so now it's kind of sticky. This is the meter. It can show you how fast you go, the battery life, the distance, and you can change the speed here or the gear here, plus or minus. And if you're using the bicycle at night, you can turn on the light. Just press and hold and the light will come on. There are 5 gears, and the gears actually represent the acceleration. So if you need like very fast acceleration, just go with 5. But if you are starting the bike from stop, from a stationary position, go with 1 and then increase to 2, 3, 4, 5. These two are for changing the gears, and you have the speed here. And that's for changing the speed for the hub. This is a folding bike, so there's this latch here that you can unlock to fold this part down, and there is another latch there you can unlock to fold the frame. So to unlock this part, the frame, all you have to do is to unlock this first and then pull this out. So once you unlock that, you can then just open this up. This battery is removable and replaceable. You can also buy an extra battery, but the retailer is selling it at a very expensive price, so it's not actually worth buying this particular brand from the retailer. This bicycle is very easy to fold and unfold, and now it's locked. If you are thinking of folding this to bring this up on the train or a bus, do note that this is 19 kg, so it's quite heavy. You can roll this around when you fold the bike because the two wheels will be together, but it's still going to be quite heavy to move or roll this around. Let's take a look at the wheel at the back. So this is 7 speed and the internal hub has 5 speeds, so you get a total of 35 speeds. Gear shifting is quite smooth, so the overall ride experience is actually pretty smooth. So at the back here there is also the disc brake, and that's the bicycle stand. This is the rack that is included, and this is above the mud guard. Now you will definitely need to have a license plate if you are using an electric bicycle here in Singapore. And speaking of the license plate, this license plate has to be tied to the LTA lock, the gold seal. So all electric bicycles have to be registered with LTA. If you don't have the license plate, if you don't have the gold seal, then it's illegal to use this in Singapore regardless of where you are. The main reason why I bought this electric bicycle is because I wanted something that I can use to travel to the MRT station. But on hindsight, after using this for a few weeks, I realized that I don't really need an electric bicycle. Just a normal bicycle will do. Electric bicycles are meant to go the distance, so if you need to travel for a very long distance, then you can consider an electric bicycle. But if you don't travel for long distances, actually then it makes no sense to buy an electric bicycle. I see a lot of food delivery riders using this bicycle, and they would have some sort of mount installed on the back to put their food box. So you can definitely install a mount here on the rack that is already included. However, I don't think it's worth the money to buy this specific model just to deliver food because it's too pricey. You see this little handle here. So when the bike is folded and the two wheels are together on the ground, this is the third contact point on the ground. So the battery life can actually last for a few days. But of course, how long the battery can last really depends on how far or the distance that you go. And this is where you can charge the battery. You can remove the battery to charge at home, or you can charge the battery by connecting the cable here. And there is a USB port here as well for you to charge your phone if you want to. The hub should be quite durable because I've been using an electric skateboard for years and I don't change the hub, so the hub itself can last for many years. As for servicing, you can go through the routine servicing as a normal bicycle, but if you need to service the internal parts, then you may have to go back to the manufacturer. But the thing is, a bicycle like this should be durable, so as long as the parts don't fail, then you can use this for a very long time. And when the battery life runs out, you can still pedal, and there is no additional resistance, so you can just pedal. Without the battery, you can still pedal with this bike as if it's a normal bicycle. This is the seat. It's quite comfortable, so I don't think you need to swap this or change this out. You can adjust the angle and you can adjust the height as well. The main selling point of this bicycle is actually the electric part, because otherwise it's no different compared to a normal bicycle. And because this is powered by electricity, it can go the distance, and if you are traveling in an area with a lot of up and down slopes, the electric bicycle is very useful. So there's a gentle slope in front of me. Cycling up a slope on this electric bicycle is almost effortless, so it can save you a lot of energy. And I am riding up this slope with gear number 1. If the slope is steeper, you may increase the gear to 2, 3, or 4 or 5. But personally, based on my experience, gear number 1 or 2 is more than sufficient to tackle all the slopes in Singapore, unless you are really riding up a hill. Anyway, the overall riding experience of an electric bike versus a normal bike is almost similar, except with an electric bike, there is more acceleration at the start. So if you are moving off from a stationary position, you will get more acceleration, but after you maintain consistent speed, there is actually not much difference between an electric bike versus a normal bicycle. One important thing to note is when the bike is stationary and this is at speed 1, if you press the pedal down slightly, this thing will actually go forward. So it's very important that when you are stationary, for example, you are at the traffic light junction, you are stopping, it's important to hold the brake so that you don't accidentally step on the pedal and fly forward, or just reduce the acceleration, the top speed down to 0. And now let's talk about the law and regulations when it comes to riding electric bicycles or pedal assist bicycles in Singapore. So the license plate is needed and the LTA seal is needed, and you also need to take a theory test so that you are qualified to ride this in Singapore. All that is required by law. You cannot ride this on a footpath. You can ride this on the park connector and on the public roads where the cars and motorbikes are, but you cannot ride this on the footpath. It's very important to take note of that, because if you are caught riding an electric bicycle or anything electric on the footpath, except for those three-wheelers, you can get fined. The bicycle cannot be modified. You can add accessories, but you cannot do physical modification to the bikes. So you can add lights, you can add a horn, you can add brake lights, you can install a pouch, a phone holder. All those things are removable and you can add them. You can add the rack behind for the food delivery box. That is removable and that is allowed. But you cannot do any physical modification to the bike. And the bike has to be under 20 kg. Anyway, when you see the LTA seal, it means the bike is certified, it meets all the requirements of the law. In Singapore, it's safe to buy. But if you do not see the LTA seal, don't buy that bike because it's illegal. Another thing to note is you need to have a helmet when you're riding this on the public road, otherwise it's also against the law. There are other regulations I cannot remember also. You do have to take the theory test to find out what all those regulations are, and there are quite a lot. I've got to say that after I bought this bike, I did not use this as much as I thought I would, mostly because the first time I rode this, I could already feel the law and regulation on my shoulders. I consider myself to be a considerate rider. I slow down when I see people, I slow down at the junctions, I slow down at blind spots. But the thing with this is you have to remember all the regulations when you ride. You have to remember to wear the helmet. You can only ride this on the public road and on park connectors. You cannot ride this on the footpaths. So if you compare this to a normal bicycle, with a normal bicycle you can ride that bicycle anywhere. But this is only restricted to the public road and park connectors, so there is that limitation there. And I bought this to ride to the MRT station, but I can also ride my normal bicycle to the MRT station. My other bike is a mountain bike. I have two bikes. One is a small foldable bike that looks exactly like this. I have another one which is a mountain bike with bigger wheels. The difference between this bike and the mountain bike is with the bigger wheels, you can maintain a faster speed, you can maintain a top speed more easily compared to this. The acceleration for this is better compared to the mountain bike, mostly because it's powered by electricity. But the wheels are small, so you cannot maintain the top speed. And also, the regulation in Singapore states that this electric bicycle cannot go beyond 25 kilometers per hour. But if you ride a normal bicycle, you can go beyond the speed. If you ride a mountain bicycle, you can easily go beyond 25 kilometers per hour. And if you ride on a public road, 25 kilometers per hour would seem slow with this bike. But when you're riding a mountain bike, you can go faster. You can just reach your place faster. So the main selling point for this really is it's powered by electricity. You can go a further distance and it's easier to ride upslope. So is this an electric bicycle that I can recommend? Well, in terms of performance and ride comfort, I would give this an A. In terms of value for money, if you're buying from the retailer TWD bicycle at over $3,000 for a brand new bicycle like this, it is definitely not worth the money. Even at half price, it's still considered pricey because you can find other electric bicycles at a more affordable price. So it looks good, it is well built, it performs well, it's just that it is way too expensive. So after you understand the law and regulations here in Singapore regarding electric bicycles and you still want to buy this, I recommend you check out electric bicycles from Mobot, or check out the Veebike, or check out other electric bicycles from Lazada. There are just way more affordable options out there compared to this. I mean, I like this, but it's too expensive. Alright, so that's it for my review. I hope this is helpful. See you guys in the next video. Bye!